There is, on the eastern coast of Sicily, a volcano that never stops surprising scientists. And when I started researching in depth what is happening with Mount Etna, I have to admit I was genuinely astonished by the scale of the phenomenon. I'm not just talking about the eruptions, because Etna erupts so frequently that it has almost become routine. I'm talking about something far more silent, far slower, and potentially far more dangerous. The largest active volcano in Europe is moving toward the sea. Not metaphorically, literally. And the most recent scientific data reveals that this movement is intimately connected to something very few people are discussing: the stability of hydrothermal vents on the floor of the Ionian Sea. Think about this for a moment. You have a mountain over 9,800 feet, 3,000 meters, tall, a colossal volume of volcanic rock accumulated over 500,000 years, and its entire flank is shifting toward the ocean. This is what researchers at the Helmholtz Center for Ocean Research in Kiel, Germany, documented with precision. And here is the detail that left me speechless. The average rate of this displacement is approximately just over half an inch, 14 millimeters, per year. That sounds small, but when you multiply that number by the absolutely gigantic scale of what is moving, the calculation becomes something very different. The southeastern flank of Etna, the portion facing the Ionian Sea, is not behaving like a rigid, stable block. It is sliding. And what scientists discovered after decades of believing the internal magma was pushing the structure outward is that the main driver of this movement is gravity. Yes, the same force that makes anything fall when you let it go. Gravity is silently pushing the base of this volcano over a layer of soft clay sediments lying beneath the entire structure, tilted in the direction of the sea. It is like a block resting on a slightly inclined surface covered in slippery material. Sooner or later, the block moves. Do you want to understand why this matters so much right now in 2026? Because in recent months, the data has shown that this process is not slowing down. Quite the opposite. And the consequences extend far beyond what happens on the surface of the volcano. To understand the true scale of what is happening, we need to go deep. Literally. In April of 2016, a team of scientists from the Helmholtz Center did something that had never been done before in this region. They installed 5 acoustic transponders on the floor of the Ionian Sea, directly over the submarine extension of the fault separating Etna's unstable flank from the rest of the more stable structure. This submarine geodetic monitoring ran until July of 2017, and the results published in the journal Science Advances were, let me try to describe this properly. Imagine placing precision sensors on the ocean floor and suddenly, in just 8 days, the ground shifts 1.5 inches, 4 centimeters. Not 4 feet, not 16 inches, not even 4 inches, 1.5 inches, but in 8 days. And, at exactly the same time, the portion above sea level shifted the exact same distance. This event occurred in May of 2017 and was recorded as the first long-term underwater monitoring ever carried out on Etna. The most revealing detail was not the amount of displacement, but its pattern. The movement was greater the farther you moved from the volcanic summit and the closer you got to the coast, the exact opposite of what would happen if magma were the primary driver. This confirmed, definitively, that gravity is the dominant force. Magma plays a secondary role. It accelerates the process when it rises, but it is not the one running the show. Now, why does this connect to the hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor? A study published in January of 2026 in Science Direct, integrating geological, geochemical, geodetic, and archaeological data from Etna's eastern flank, reached a conclusion that substantially changes the way we understand this phenomenon. The movement of the faults in this region, the very same movement that makes the flank unstable, also sustains the hydrothermal discharge along the coast. The continuously sliding faults increase the permeability of the rocky substrate, creating and maintaining channels through which hot, mineral-rich fluids rise from the interior of the Earth to the ocean floor. In other words, the tectonic instability and the hydrothermal activity are coupled. One depends on the other, and any change in the pace of the sliding could disturb this equilibrium in ways that are still difficult to predict with precision. On the first day of January of 2026, Etna decided to open the year in a way nobody expected. A flank eruption began on the eastern slope of the volcano at 6,890 feet, 2,100 meters, of elevation precisely within the Valle del Bove, which, for those unfamiliar, is an enormous horseshoe-shaped depression marking exactly the most unstable flank of Etna. That depression exists precisely because there were previous collapses in this area. The fissure advanced toward the valley, reaching 4,660 feet, 1,420 meters, of elevation on the 2nd of January. And before I forget to mention, the eruption produced ash that threatened the airspace of the surrounding region. The National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology of Italy, the INGV, interpreted that the effusive lava flow that developed inside the Valle del Bove reduced the immediate risk to inhabited areas. But the most striking piece of data in their communique is this: the eruption signaled that pressurized magma is still actively moving through the volcano's internal system. And the research cited earlier already showed that magma intrusions act as accelerators of flank sliding. 10 days later, on the 10th of January of 2026, an earthquake of magnitude 5.3 on the moment magnitude scale shook the Ionian Sea off the coast of Syracuse, felt across eastern Sicily. Specialists were quick to clarify that this event has no direct connection to Etna's volcanic activity. It involves movements of the multiple submerged faults of the Ionian Sea. But this distinction is, in itself, an important piece of data. It reveals that the tectonic context in which Etna sits is extraordinarily active. The volcano stands on the edge of the Calabrian subduction zone, and the faults crossing the floor of the Ionian Sea are, according to local volcanologists, far more unpredictable and potentially far more hazardous than Etna itself. And these are exactly the faults connected to the submarine hydrothermal system. To put it in clear terms, we are talking about a system where the sliding of the volcano's flank, the eruptive activity, the submarine seismicity, and the hydrothermal vents are all parts of one interconnected mechanism. And now we arrive at the part that justifies this entire discussion. What happens if this sliding accelerates abruptly? Scientists have a clear answer to that, and it is documented both in current geology and in the records of the past. Approximately 8,000 years ago, a flank collapse in this very same region generated a tsunami that crossed the Mediterranean and reached what is today the coastline of Israel, over 1,000 miles, 1,600 kilometers, away. This event is recorded in marine sediments and in the growth rings of ancient trees. This is not speculation. It is documented geology. Today, approximately 1 million people live on the slopes of Etna. Millions more inhabit the coasts around the Ionian Sea. And the most recent monitoring numbers show that the southeastern flank continues to displace, with episodes of acceleration associated with magma intrusions and fault movements. Morelia Urlaub, the researcher who led the Helmholtz Center study, was direct when asked about the risk of acceleration. It could happen in 10, 100, or 100,000 years. We have no way of knowing. What we can do is be aware of this danger and continue monitoring. But here is something worth highlighting. The fact that we do not know when does not mean we are helpless. Etna is one of the most monitored volcanoes on the planet. Dozens of seismic sensors, high-precision GPS units, underwater transponders, satellites with INSAR imaging, all of it is active 24 hours a day. If the sliding begins to accelerate significantly, the monitoring systems will detect it. And coastal communities already have tsunami warning protocols in place for the Mediterranean. What the data from 2026 reinforces, however, is that the connection between the flank sliding, the seismicity of the Ionian Sea, and the submarine hydrothermal vents is far tighter than previously imagined. Any disturbance in the system has this potential to impact deep sea ecosystems that depend on these vents as their primary energy source. If you follow geological sciences and natural phenomena, you know that Etna rarely disappoints those who pay attention. And the coming months will be very important for observing how this situation evolves. I will continue following this closely and bringing updates as new data is published.